Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls of YouTube. My name is Dans. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool, that's chill. Go check out my channel. There are so many other readings there. I'm sure you'll find something that fits you. So let's get into it. Universe, please. Insight and information. What do you want this beautiful collective to hear on this day? What do they need to know? Page of Swords and the World coming up here. There is a communication here that is going to close out a cycle. Now, close out doesn't mean finalize a cycle. It could. Or it could just mean that like there is a pattern that you've been in that is going to stop happening, which is great. Whether that's an ending, a new beginning, just a breaking of a habit. Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park. Oh my gosh, I've been listening to so much alternative music recently. I love Linkin Park. But that's what, I feel like that happens a lot for me in these readings. I'll say something and then I think of a song. Classic. Let's have a look at these individual energies. We'll have a look at what communication is happening here. And we'll have a look at this pattern that's going to break. Universe, please, insight and information. Can you give us some more context on the Page of Swords energy? We have the High Priestess and the Two of Wands. Interesting. Okay. I am seeing this as two separate energies. A High Priestess and a Two of Wands. You might be resonating with the High Priestess. You might be resonating with the Two of Wands. These might be two separate entities that you relate to. So, let's get into it. Universe, please, insight and information. What can you tell us about the High Priestess? What I'm getting is that this is a very intuitive soul that is kind of keeping their mouth shut for the time being. They're like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do me. And I'm just going to zip it. It's like a very, I'm being drawn to like the cloth that she's like holding over her mouth. Like she's just like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say anything. Can we get some more context on the High Priestess energy? There is like, obviously with the moon in the background in this imagery, there is like definitely a hidden truth. They're definitely not saying what's on their mind. Any more information on this High Priestess energy? We have strength, okay. And the Eight of Swords. Hate to see a High Priestess energy with the Eight of Swords energy, feeling like they're just so closed in, and like I think that their silence has a lot to do with an intentional choice, as well as them kind of licking their wounds and feeling like they need to hide away. So it's a hiding as well as a distance thing. Let's have a look at this Two of Wands energy before I look at the connection between these two energies. Can we please have some more insight into this Two of Wands energy? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that's what I thought. There is definitely like on this side, like still decisions to be made. It's still very up in the air. Like the future of what's going to happen with this particular energy is jumping out of the deck like the last reading. Okay. We have the Sun. The King of Cups. Okay. It's leaning towards healthy, bright, clear, transparent offering of communication. That's what it's leaning towards. We get any more information on this Two of Wands energy? The Star. Yeah. I see there being a it feels like there is an energy that is usually quite strong and straightforward, that's like choosing to stay quiet, and another energy that maybe is a little bit less decisive, thinking, okay, I think I'm ready to come forward. I think, emphasis on the think, underline, italicize, bold. I think I'm ready. It's not a definite thing yet. That's still in the fates are still changing there. Let's have a look at the relationship. What's going on in this dynamic? What is this pattern? We have the Two of Coins. We have the King of Coins. We have the Eight of Wands. And the Ten of Wands. It does feel a bit like this dynamic can feel somewhat of a burden that comes real good and burns really hot and fast until it gets too much. And then that's when it's like, okay, this is too much. And then it goes back to like nothing. And then it like grows again. Like it almost feels like this dynamic has this like pulse where, or like this, it feels like a breath, you know? And then it's like extinguished. So these are the different like things, but that's how like repetitive this cycle is. Like it feels like a breath, or it feels like a pulse. It feels like it continuously happens. But especially with this card, it starts small and it grows and it gets bigger until like it's a burden, and then it's like crushing, and then it has to like start from like over again. That's the pattern that has to keep going. What is going to be the thing that breaks this pattern? Because we had this world energy. Let's have a look at it. What's going to be the end of this cycle? Seven of Wands, Page of Cups, Six of Swords, Two of Cups. There needs to be like we have the Seven of Wands here with the breaking down. It's gonna feel like you're like battling stone, but like true honesty about what is going on within this cycle, because it feels like this could be a cycle between you and a person, you and your workplace, you and your job, like whatever it happens to be. There are people within that are seeing this cycle kind of go on for you. And when you start to have really true, honest communication about it, it's like the elephant in the room. When you start to really, really talk about it, and like, it's gonna be hard. Like it's a big, long, difficult conversation. That's gonna be the only thing that gets you away from it and brings a real sense of peace. Let's get into, I can't spend too long in a reading today. But let's see what else your guides want you to know about this or anything else. Like what messages, what things does this collective need to know that's going to best support them at the moment? Ace of Wands. If you are a creative, I really recommend you be investing time into that creativity. This is a very heightened emotional state for you right now. If like this dynamic is weighing on you, and if you feel like you're resonating with a tarot reading about it, definitely use your creativity as an outlet. It's going to be really, really healthy for you. We have the Hierophant coming out as well. A lot of self-care. Like you might be needing more rests than usual. And we have Death. I think there needs to be a real acceptance here that you might have the cycle might be ending, this pattern might be ending by a particular dynamic actually coming to a close and finishing. And I think that before that happens, it's going to be in your best interest to really make peace with that. So just take the time to... That's hard. That's a hard one to sit with, any kind of loss, whether that is like a change of place or an interpersonal connection, that's hard. And I think that nothing can really prepare you for what it'll feel like when that happens, but you can kind of, as much as you can, ease that by preparing that in your mind as a very realistic outcome. Then at least you're not completely sidelined by it, So a lot of acceptance, radical acceptance, my babes, is what we need. And look, I've been connecting to this collective for a long time. I know you've been through some ish, so I know you'll be able to do it. You'll be right. You'll be okay. You have me. I cannot save you. I cannot. I can give you maybe a couple minutes of energy and hope that distracts you for a little while. Helps you sleep better. I listen to these readings before I go to sleep. All right, let's get last words of insight and information. Universe, please. What last words of wisdom or encouragement do you have for this beautiful collective? What do they need to hear before they go about their day or before they slip into dreamland? The meaning is in the middle. Memento mori. Life, presence, depth. There might be a bit of a theme of middle ground that maybe you should just take with you today. It's definitely something that I've struggled with, is finding the middle ground. I've always generally been on the extreme ends of the spectrum, whether that's in work or emotions. Just love living on the edge and finding that really balanced middle ground, meeting in the middle. I think that's a place to aim towards and aim for right now, especially as you navigate this thing, like what I talked about, managing expectations. Don't too heavily invest in one potential outcome. Be at peace with yourself. This is the big thing. Be really, really at peace with yourself so that all these other outside factors can't budge you. Now, that's so unrealistic, okay? We would not be the beautiful, emotive beings that we are if we didn't let outside factors and environmental factors disturb our peace. Our peace being disturbed is literally what life is about, because that's what joy is as well. We have peace and then we elevate it, and that's joy. Or we have peace and then we have to experience struggle, stress, grief, and that's disrupting our peace as well. But the spectrum of emotions and experiencing that is literally the point, especially if you're a creative. That is the fuel for creatives. So just try find your center. Try and find your center. Practice finding your center and your sense of personal, spiritual acceptance of self, and love for yourself. I think that's the biggest one, finding that really true sense of love for yourself, so that if you come towards a connection, that's unshakable. That your sense of love is is as unshakable as it can be when there is a potential for big emotions, big feelings. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. Bit of a shorter reading than usual, but we're due for one. Also, I have work, so I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Bye!